what's happening, guys. Gonna give it a minute or two. Sound Minds, what's up? Oh shit, do I see some Canadian flags in there? How your Raptors doing, all right? All right, we're at about the 2-minute mark. I'm gonna start this. This is a actual police call of yesterday's police shooting on the north side.
10-1 alarm at 45 North California. 10-1 at 45 North California. EMS Plan 1 for the multiple gunshot victims. North California for EMS Plan 1. 452, 452. 452, Medical Field Division. And we're going to report about maybe a couple officers there. 442, mate. 442. Yeah, put me on that plane 1, please. 442, okay. 441, the route. 441, okay, just sent it to you now, I'll put you in route.
On the main, 61 to me.
61.
61. Swedish is on a full bypass. There's a lockdown. We have an active shooter. We are stuck inside the building.
Alright, 61, you're stuck inside the building. We do have a Plan 1 going over there right now for the gunshot victims. 31. Anybody available on the northeast side of the city? Anybody available northeast side of the city? Or
43 weeks is a lot of time.
Alright, 43, perfect. I'm going to use you at 40 Sheridan, 4025 Sheridan for ultramental status.
4025 Sheridan for 43.
31. Well, that frame was 31. Yeah, 31, I got to switch you up. I got one not far from you here at the reporters at 13 Winamac, 1310 Winamac for the trouble brief. Alright, message received, rerouted to 13 West Winamac, 31s are on today. I'm responding to EMS Plan 1 for multiple gunshot victims at Swedish. Use caution. They got the hospital on lockdown right now. Hospital active shooter. All companies use caution.
Ambulance 53, we're available for you. We can come out of St. Mary's and go to Swedish if you need us on the plan.
Alright, 53, I got you available. Right now I have it covered. I appreciate it. Just stand by the radio in case we need more.
Thanks, receive. I'm listening on Fireground and main. I'll be clear.
Alright, great. Ambulance 40, we're on scene. We don't have any word on where the shooter may or may not be. We're staged at Western California right now. 40, yeah, we're trying to get more information right now, too. I'm going to keep looking at the police tickets, see if they got anything else. Yeah, I got some police here. I'm going to try and talk to them. Alright, 40, message received. 40, since you're there first, let me know if you want the company's to stage anywhere. Let me know if you need anybody to stage anywhere.
Ambulance 46 to main. We're going to stage right by Ambulance 40 until further notice.
46.
Ambulance 40 to main. It says everybody stage at Foster, California for the time being.
Foster and California. All EMS companies are responding to Plan 1 for gunshot victims. 5145 California stage in Foster, California. Foster and California will be the stage area.
47 Foster in California. Do we have a tactical channel?
None has been assigned yet, but we'll make it 7 out.
Op 7 for the tactical channel.
All EMS companies, Op 7 on arrival. Op 7 on arrival. Alright, so all EMS companies, we got a corrected staging area now. 2010 wants all EMS companies on Winona, east of California. On Winona, east of California. All EMS companies stays there.
32 Main. We got Chief asking the ambulance at Winona, east of California. We're going to head over there.
Very good.
Philip, 61 Main.
61, go ahead. 6161, go with your message.
Ambulance 40 to Main. Police said that they got 2 officers shot in critical condition in the hospital after shooters left the scene.
40 message received. 6161, go with your message. 61. Alright,
4411 Main.
4411.
Do we have the full active shooter response time?
No, CPD has never confirmed that with us. 40 right now just reported that active shooter left the scene. We have 2 officers in critical condition in the hospital.
70 can hold the truck.
Alright, 77 will hold truck 48. 6161, ambulance 61.
61, we have found officers at Swedish. We are requesting that we transport one to the trauma hospital. It's currently being determined, but we wanted to let you know we're going to be taking the transport to the trauma hospital.
Alright, 61, I got a lot of that. Unfortunately, radio is cutting out. You're going to be taking one of the officers to a trauma hospital. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're still trying to figure out where we're going. We're currently working with Pete.
Alright, very good. I'm going to put you on the EMS plan 1. I just dispatched you on scene here. 4411, you copy all that?
I'm at 4411 guys. Do we have any ALS first companies on scene?
Yes, they actually pulled the box originally, and Battalion 10 requested a 10-1. So we have a 71, 124, 112, 89. Truck 12 is also there as ALS. Then we have a couple other trucks from the box as well. Ambulance 40, we're going to go in the hospital and try and find the other police officer. 40, okay.
47 on the scene, pushing out.
47 on the scene.
So that's it, guys. That was a radio call. I didn't think I was going to play the whole thing, but so where are you guys watching from besides Canada? What's up with your Raptors? Are they playing with the Cavaliers or something? Yeah, I think they're playing the Cavaliers. My Spurs are on right now. I'm born and raised in San Antonio. So I felt compelled to do a little story or go live on this. Yesterday at approximately 10:45 Central Time, I was listening to that radio call. I actually gave a text out to a couple people and said, "Hey, if you want to go cover this, probably be a big deal." Officer by the name of John Bartholomew lost his life, and there's a second officer right now in critical condition still. We're still waiting to hear if this officer is going to pull through or not. My opinion is probably not. They're probably just waiting to see who wants to see him while he's still alive. They might want to, wait to pull the plug, as they say. This John Bartholomew was a 38-year-old police officer, 10 years of service. The second officer was a 57-year-old officer with some 30 plus years of service. The initial reports are that they apprehended a suspect yesterday that was allegedly a robbery suspect, and they needed to take him to the hospital. And standard procedure, the suspect wasn't charged, and he still isn't charged right now to this moment. He's still waiting to be charged with the death or whatever. When they took him to the hospital, supposedly he was able to get away. It's being reported that he stole one of the officer's guns and just opened fire and was able to flee As you could hear in the radio call, there was a blockade. They were trying to set a perimeter to try and catch this guy. His name hasn't been released yet, so still pending on that. So there's a lot of things to get into here. By no means am I going to, you know, try and defame this officer or try and, I don't know, a lot of you guys think I hate cops. I hate, every single one of them out there. It isn't true. It's just mostly the work that they do. It's not the person, it's the team, it's what they represent. And as a whole, I just think that law enforcement just does not work for us, and it never really has. It's worked for certain few, but predominantly it's I think it's time for a renaissance. I think it's time for something totally new. And living in Chicago, this isn't new. We have quite a few officers that get shot once in a while. We just had Crystal Rivera. We had Ella French. I just did Tim Jones, although he was on life support for a while and passed away. But this isn't something that's, not as common. It's a big city, so things like this kind of happen from time to time. We have firefighters. We just lost one, I believe, like a month ago. We lost one like a year ago. So these are the unfortunate things that happen when you take that job description. So by no means am I going to, cast any kind of dispersions on this guy, these police officers. My only issue that I will take up with this is the unnamed 57-year-old officer who is now fighting for his life. The only issue I have is a 57-year-old officer probably is past his prime, probably shouldn't be on the job. Is probably why he was there, one, transporting this suspect to the hospital. Most likely he was handcuffed, and he probably thought this is an easy job. This is this is a nice side job for me. I could still be on the force, and I assume it's full pension, so he can full pension. 57. I'm approaching 50, and I know I'm probably not capable of that job, even if I wanted to. I think I'm just kind of past my prime a little bit. I'd probably leave it to the younger guys, the 20-year-olds. A lot of the younger guys I see out there on the streets, that's usually the age. 57. Maybe that's why this suspect was able to strong him and gain his weapon and open fire and get away. I mean, there was no hospital security staff. There wasn't anyone who could stop him or apprehend him. This is the city of Al Capone. This is Chicago. This is nothing but corruption. This city was built on corruption, politically, criminally, and every aspect of the city since its foundation has been plagued with politics, corruption. I think we've had 7 governors that's gone to prison. We have one currently right now, George Ryan. So, yeah, we are no stranger to any kind of misconduct by police officers. I was just having a conversation with a friend recently the other day, and she could not believe that since January of this year, Chicago taxpayers have paid out $175 million in the last 4 months to police misconducts. We've given out something like $351 million in police misconduct payouts since 2019. So I feel that the justification of these lawsuits and what's going on in the city just is just not working for us anymore. I was just reading earlier today about Adam Toledo. He's currently in the lawsuit phase. I believe that the family of Adam Toledo has rescinded their lawsuit, but I think they're just restructuring it to fit their means a little better. Adam Toledo was a 13-year-old kid who in 2021, Eric Stilland shot in an alley and thought he had a gun. There's a misconception whether he did or didn't, but it was a 13-year-old kid who there's just perceived he had a gun, opened fired and killed him. There was a report that a gun was found near the scene or near Adam, but I just can't believe the words of officers anymore. Like I want to, and usually that's what the body cams are for, but 13-year-old kid lost his life, and taxpayers of Chicago are going to have to pay for it no matter what. So how does that work for us? Dexter Reed was in 2024, Humboldt Park was pulled over for a seatbelt violation, and that was March 21st of 24, and was basically opened fired on. I mean, they mag dumped on him. Preliminary reports said the officer said that they were fired on first. Of course, they're going to say that, but that's been disputed, and there is a current lawsuit pending right now. I believe it was a $1.5 million settlement offered to the family of Dexter Reed, but denied. He was just pulled over for no seatbelt, and cops were unmarked, no blues. They were plain clothes, and Dexter was scared. He's in Humboldt Park. It's not the greatest of neighborhoods, so he didn't know who was approaching his car. And allegedly, the cops said that Dexter fired on them, and they shot something. I wish I could have remembered, but it was like 60 or 80 shots. I mean, it was a number of like 5 officers who just unloaded. So it's another payout going to be coming out pretty soon. We got another problem out here with officers who don't stop at stop signs, run red lights out here. There's a lot of litigation going on with that, especially in the past and in the present. Stacy Von Harrell was killed June 24th of 17, but the lawsuit was just finished in late 25, I believe, or 20, just this year in 26. $27 million going to be paid out to the family of Stacy Von Harrell. She was in Inglewood driving with her mother, I believe, and a police officer was in pursuit of someone. Then no lights and sirens, and they took her life. And that was in 2017. It's taken almost 9 years for that settlement, but $27 million payout taxpayers are going to have to pay this family. Dakaria Spicer, giving out $79 million. You heard that right. 10-year-old girl on December 2nd of 2020, Dakaria Spicer of the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. Another case of no lights, no sirens, 10-year-old girl hit and killed. She's deceased. This was in 2020. $79 million lawsuit for police officers chasing people and with no lights and sirens. Nathan Jones, 2021, $45 million lawsuit. He was a 15-year-old kid, and a 15-year-old kid in Westtown, who the police officer did not stop at the stop sign. It was a stop violation, and killed Nathan Jones, a 15-year-old kid in 2021. Actually, I don't know if he passed away. I believe he just had brain injuries and needed a 24-hour care from his mother. But that was a $45 million lawsuit just given in 2024. Tuong Lam, I read about him in 2018 in Rogers Park. $10.5 million settlement in 2023. An officer was chasing a alleged suspect and drove the wrong way down a one-way ramp and killed 71-year-old Tuong Lam in 2023 in the Rogers Park neighborhood. Angel Eduardo Alvarez Montesinos, 25-year-old, no lights and sirens, driving the wrong way on the west side. He was a 25-year-old male, never been in trouble in his life. $22 million settlement earlier this year. Roberto Cavallero, he was pulled over for a seatbelt violation in West Ridge last year. This was recent, and 20 years old. Last December 9th of 25, his life was taken. So there's just a couple examples that I've been, this isn't something I just learned recently. I live in Chicago. I watch the news every other day. There's people like Renardo Guevara. If anyone watches the news in Chicago in the last decade, that's going to ring a bell. This dude, Renardo Guevara, sergeant police officer, just retired in 2023 with full benefits. He's got 41 wrongful convictions, lawsuits going, and only 13 have been resolved since. These 13 that have been resolved have cost the taxpayers $141 million. He's got 30 some more waiting. And this one is supposed to be like the biggest one of all. They're saying this can go to hit close to the $500 million mark. Over $300 million is an estimate. Right now, it's $141 million. Joseph Vecchio had 15 lawsuits pending, 76 complaints. Out of those 15 lawsuits, only 4 have been settled. There's 11 pending. The 4 have only cost the taxpayers only $378,000. But the 11 that are pending are subjected to be at least $200 million. That's why it's taken so long. They're not really, the lawyers are doing their job. They want the most they can get for their clients, and they're probably going to get it. So, like I'm saying, there's about 60% of lawsuits that are pending right now as we speak. Since 2019, it's been $351 million, close to $500 million. I don't know. To me, that doesn't seem worth its money. That doesn't seem like a good investment. If you studied law enforcement in their inception, they were basically just protectors of the rich, protectors of rich property and businesses, and it just kind of expanded after that. We got a problem with wrongful raids out here. Not sure if you heard of a woman called Ann Jeanette Young, who in 2019 had a wrongful raid. They had the wrong house, and she was basically left naked, handcuffed in a room full of 2021. And Jeanette Young settled a $2.9 million lawsuit in 2021. And she's decided to do good with the funds that she has gotten by creating two nonprofit organizations, one being called I Am Her. If you look it up, it's a organization that just helps women out, women who've been in bad situations, maybe need a little help, little assistance, and basically who don't have a voice. She set this foundation up for women who are in bad predicaments and feel that they can't get out. She also started another organization called Cafe Social Work, which is basically just kind of a place where you can go and if you're having problems with law enforcement or any kind of government, and or if you kind of just need someone to talk to, if you're not feeling so good, or depression and stuff like that, it's called Cafe Social Work. Now, the one that just happened that all of Chicago was talking about. Well, actually, I still got Ronald Watts. Let's talk about Ronald Watts. The movie Training Day with Denzel Washington, some say that Ronald Watts was the depiction of that. Although, yes, Training Day was filmed in or depicted in Los Angeles, but Ronald Watts was the character. Ronald Watts was the Denzel Washington of the Chicago South Side. This guy is a piece of work. So he retired years ago, but his legacy, let me tell you, still lives on. Ronald Watts has now had 200 vacated sentences, at least 176 lawsuits since September of 25, excuse me, of 90 million. 90. He pleaded guilty to extortion in 2013. If anyone remembers John Burge was the captain and the lead officer back in the late 70s and early 80s, who was known for torturing his victims into confessions, which is now veering its ugly head because a lot of these people are getting out of prison and getting out for wrongful convictions. I mean, almost every day, especially every week in Chicago, there's at least one or two in the news, at least, that you see people wrongfully. And along that comes with millions and millions of dollars of settlements that taxpayers have to pay. So a lot of people are better heard of Crystal Rivera. When I'm on the street, when I'm cop watching, I reference her once in a while. You might hear me say Crystal Rivera. Crystal Rivera was a police officer. Her partner was Carlos Baker. This story went viral. This story went everywhere. And national news about a police officer shooting another police officer. In June of last year, 25, in the Chatham neighborhood, Baker and Rivera responded to a call, and there's now police body cam footage of them trying to apprehend these subjects when Carlos shoots Crystal. They were romantically involved for a couple years, and right before the shooting, Crystal wanted to end it. Crystal asked for a new partner, and she had expressed that she was not safe. She didn't feel safe around Officer Baker anymore. She had told the sergeant that she was worried about his 11 misconduct complaints in 3 years, and that she was not safe with him having a weapon. In 2022, at a bar, I believe it was in Wicker Park, he was alleged brandished a weapon at a Wicker Park bar where Crystal was at, and Officer Baker's ex-girlfriend was at. Basically, they're all going to have a fight, and Carlos showed the weapon to basically call it, the show of force. And he was basically told on by his other officers, and I think they just gave him like a 1-day suspension or something like that. Well, when Officer Baker shot Crystal on that June day in 25, he didn't even render aid, and it was alleged that the transporting vehicle that took Crystal caught on fire. How strange is that? So there's a pending lawsuit by Crystal Rivera, and just seemed like a pretty big cover up. Although COPA, the Civilian Office of Police, they cleared it. Oh, they already cleared him. No wrongdoing. So, yeah, guys, I don't know. I'm just gonna rant. This is stuff that I've known for a long time, and this is shit that I follow. I'm not really. I don't watch movies. I don't watch a lot of shows and Netflix. Anyone who knows me knows I don't really take up my time with that kind of stuff. This is kind of the stuff I've been doing. I've been doing this for a long time, so now it's just kind of coming into fruition. This is all the stuff I've been learning. I have done some time before for marijuana. Yeah, I did prison time for marijuana a while back, and I bring that up because it was almost like a learning experience. You don't know what to expect when you're in there, and to tell you the truth, it wasn't that bad. What up, Joe Cool? What up, Brandon Mitchell? Freeman Liberty. What's up, guys? Yeah, talking about that shooting yesterday. What do you guys think, man? I mean, I don't really like this guy shooting up a place. I don't wish death on anybody. It's not, this 30-year-old cop and this 57-year-old cop. I don't wish ill will on them, but it just bugs me that, they're going to have a procession and it's on the news and show sympathy. And, if anywhere on social media, a lot of people are just giving thoughts and prayers and this and that. And, I agree to a certain extent, but this is Chicago. And if you knew, a lot about its history and law enforcement, if you've experienced Chicago police and or even Ramet, suburban police, you don't know what happened? Oh, shooting, man. 2 cops shot yesterday, North Avenue, California. 1 dead, 1 looking like it's going to be dead. And so anyway, on my prison thing is, I met a lot of people. Most people were from Chicago. And what I learned was, man, I heard so many stories about police from, some of these people were gangbangers. Some of them were just selling weed. Some of them just violent. Not everyone's a gangbanger in Chicago. Not everyone in prison's a gangbanger. But what I did learn was how the police treat people in the city, how, no one had any rights. No one, as far as police checking you and searching you and harassing you. I heard stories of police basically saying, you better do this. If you don't take care of this for us, then you might go home and someone in your family might be missing, or, you know, your little boy, we know we're, you know, basically mafia shit. Basically putting these people in predicaments where if they don't do something for the police, they'll make something up. They'll, you know, plant some shit on them, or, you know, their girlfriend will get beat up, or someone's house is going to burn down, or, you know, I was just like, what? You know, that sounds like movie shit. That sounds like, you know, Training Day, or, you know, I'm out in the suburbs, so it's not that I couldn't believe it, but I don't know, just, you know, you hang out with these dudes on the yard. I was at a minimum, you know, so it wasn't like we were doing hard time. So you'd hear some of these stories and, you know, yeah, man, the cops, you know, do this. And you hear that story on the news. Yeah, that was my guy. And he said if he didn't do this, then they, you know, his kid would go missing, or, you know, his girlfriend, or they'll do something to his car. You know, they were just like straight up gangbangers. So, so when I hear stories now, or I hear like news articles, I see something happen, I'm like, oh man, why the fuck did that guy do that? What made him do that? It kind of goes back into my psyche of saying, well, man, maybe someone coerced him. You know, maybe he was put in a predicament to where he kind of had to do it, or else, you know, you don't want to take that chance of having someone hurt in your family, having someone go missing, because those motherfuckers will do it, man. Like, I spent a lot of time with off-duty police officers a few years back, and wow, that just didn't give me any hope. It kind of, you know, gave substance to a lot of the stories that I heard, because I could see them doing that now. I could totally see the demonization in a lot of these officers' eyes. They're just given too much control. You know, they're just given too much power, and a lot of people misuse it. You know, I don't know if I could have handled that kind of power. I don't know if I would have been able to, you know, constrain myself from some of the things. You know, I got stories myself. You know, I've, I think I even went live one time talking to a cop and told him how I had a police officer who was giving me mad weed all the time in Maywood. He would arrest people and take their shit, and then he didn't want it, and then his boys stopped wanting it. So I met him at a fucking wedding one time, and he thought I was cool. He thought I was trustworthy or something. Next thing all I did was tell him I played Little League out in Franklin Park in the Maywood area. The next thing I know, I'm drinking moonshine with this guy in his house, and he's giving me, you know, this and that, saying you know, this is what he caught and this is what he confiscated when he pulled someone over, and this and that. So I didn't want to do it, but I just felt like I kind of had to after a while, because I didn't want him to, you know, come after me, this and that. So I mean that's just one. I've had weed, I've had drugs planted on me twice. Got my ass kicked by cops. One not too long ago, 2021, which is one of the reasons why I do go out and cop watch. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna quit blabbing a little bit. Maybe it's the coffee. Maybe I need a smoke. It's 4:20 or just past. No, it was 5. I started this around 4:20. So want to say what's up to you guys. What do you guys think of this Chicago cop dying and getting shot yesterday? I don't know if you guys heard about it. I don't know what area you're in. Who's got a tornado going on? Brandon, where you at? Yeah, I watched the Storm Chasers. I usually watch the Storm Chasers during the day. They were like in Texas or something. Yeah, Joe, this dude, they were apprehending, they got some dude. They were on North in California. They arrested some dude on a suspected robbery. And when they're taking him to that Swedish Memorial Hospital, Endeavor Hospital over there, somehow when on the intake, dude busted out, grabbed who I think that he grabbed the 57-year-old's gun and just started blasting. I mean, he got away. There's a picture of him butt naked when they apprehended him. There's an infamous picture going around online of the black male, and they blur out his crotch area, and that's when they caught him. So yeah, these guys are. What do you guys think of that Trump shit? I don't know if you want to get into that. I'm still kind of like, is this staged? You know, there's that shooting that happened in Chicago yesterday, and then everyone's talking about that correspondence meeting at Foster Cup. Everyone's talking about that correspondence meeting with the shooting, and this shit's just getting unreal, man. I don't know, this is hard to believe now. Strange world. It's not like JFK, RFK days with assassinations. When assassinations or shootings happen with politicians, we have to ask, well, you think that's real? Or did that really happen? It's probably staged, huh? And you got like Erica Kirk and everyone crying and shit. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to believe anymore. And that's why I do what I do. I'm just raw. I go out there, I film, and that's what you see. You get what you see. Sometimes it's nothing, just a stupid traffic stop. Sometimes it's a fire. Sometimes it's people pulling out of the car, or DUI searches, and I don't know, man. So the area definitely going to take advantage of it. Just wanted to give some notes, give my perspective basically of, you know, what I think is going on. Yeah, it's unfortunate about these police officers losing their life. It is a profession where that's probably going to happen here and there, but it just bothers me. I just did a story on Denise Bleedy. If you guys follow me, one of my last lives, I did a story on her out in Burbank, and that was like 3 years ago, and nothing's happened. So there's not going to be a procession, or there's not going to be more news coverage on Denise Blighty. You know, cop ran her over, who I'm now hearing is an officer named Dewey. A lot of people messaged me, and some people said I could have done a quick check, but kind of wanted to see for myself. But yeah, it's not gonna be a procession for me, you know, when I go. Then a lot of people are, you know, it's not gonna make the news or anything like that. They can make it look like a mistake. They can do whatever they want. But that's why when I hear shit about this, you know, police officers, it's like, well, what was his record? Was he doing out there? Was he doing wrong? Was he a good guy? Do we have to assume he was a good guy? I mean, just blind support. I'm not really one that gives blind support, you know, but I don't know, man. We just keep pushing on. Wanted to say, what's up, Freeman Liberty? Please, you guys, look at Freeman Liberty One's channel. Please subscribe to him. We've been teaming up. He does good work out there in the city of Chicago. He watches the police out there, and I would appreciate it if you don't already subscribe to Joe Cool. He's out there. Hope to see you out soon, my friend. Hope to see you out. Wouldn't mind doing some cop watching with you in the near future. Hope your family is well. Hope all is well. Who's out there? Batman, thanks for your help. Thanks for everything. This is just I just wanted to rant. This is something close to me. I've been following a lot of these stories for some time, like even Laquan McDonald, you know, Jason Van Dyke. So Laquan McDonald shot 2014 16 times. Jason Van Dyke was found guilty, probably the first police officer to ever be found guilty. And I believe he's still in prison right now. there's a document, quite a few others at the time, involving Chicago police. I mean, we got history as far as like Fred Hampton, man. You know, Black Panthers, Fred Hampton, Bobby Rush, one of the congressmen. I think he just stepped down recently. Bobby Rush, the whole Black Panthers. So CPD has a history of violence, and you know that's just what it is. So don't think of my city as such a gangbanger. And Chicago's great, man. I just absolutely love this city. It's beautiful, and it represents very tough people, very tough minded. We got tough winters, we got brutal summers, and we're a working class city. And when we have government interfering with our freedoms, we push back a little bit. So, and yeah, a lot of us, we're not angels. You know, some of us, we got side hustles, and you know, we're human. But we definitely don't need to be parented, and we definitely don't need more government. If anything, we need less. You know, how look at all these flock cameras. This is a scary age, guys. Guys better realize what's going on out there. Some of you younger guys in your 20s and 30s, by the time you're in your 50s and 60s, this is going to be a very, very different country. It's already turning the tide. So what side you gonna be on? So yeah, man, probably end this. Want to say what's up to my peoples. Brandon Mitchell, what's up? What's going on with those tornadoes, man? Are you down south? I'm surprised there hasn't been a lot of barking. All right, guys. Well, you're out south of KC. Oh, man. Well, that's where all the tornadoes are at, man. Up there by the Panhandle, like Oklahoma. So I'm from Texas, but I got relatives in North Texas. Everyone's got a storm shelter out there, man. Oh, cool. I'll check that out. Everyone thinks I live in my mom's basement. I ain't even got a basement, man. We had a tornado come through here in 21. Actually, it went like 2 blocks away from me. It was an F3. I got video of the aftermath. Me and my buddy went to go see if we could help out. I should post that, actually. It was a pretty surreal video. And I ended up seeing my high school girlfriend's mom. It hit my high school girlfriend's block. So when we were following the devastation, it led us to that area. Sure enough, she was outside and recognized me. So yeah, it was an F3, hit Naperville, Woodridge, and like Burr Ridge, a little bit of Downers Grove. But we were closed all the doors, got away from the glass. That was pretty scary, man. Growing up in South Texas, man, holy shit. Those storms down there scare the hell out of you. That's one of the things I remember being a kid down there, was being in the bathtub with my mom and family praying, and having to go out the next morning and see just shit and wood and trees down. And it was like a neighborhood effort to clean up the place, get the chainsaws and to start heave-hoeing, man, get the wheelbarrow, and be shit everywhere. I'm from San Antonio, so Leon Valley. I moved up here when I was a kid. I haven't been down there in a while. It's too hot down there, dude. I can't breathe down there. I don't get oxygen down there. Last time I was down there, I was like hyperventilating. Maybe it's that we're so close to Lake Michigan that like the air is a little bit more oxygenated. But I was having trouble breathing the last time I was down there. All righty, muchachos. Can't believe I've been doing this for like an hour, but this is my story. 2 police officers shot yesterday. Social media is going nuts. And I do have sympathy for those officers. But as far as law enforcement as a whole, I want change. I want something different. And God damn it, I'm going to do whatever I can in my little area, my little square little space to do something about it. And if you ask me, I think I'm doing something about it already because I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of police officers recognize me now, whether they've actually had contact with me or they've heard of me. So I think in the last year, I've actually had decent interactions with police officers, just as long as you say hi, except for that fucko in Westmont, little pussy ass little bitch Ryan. Yeah, you little pussy ass bitch. Can't even fucking have someone walk up to you. Come on, man. You know how many female officers I walk up to and they say hi and how you doing and we have conversations. I mean, how many videos have you seen me lately walking up to a cop and either saying hi? I even spooked one and yelled boo at one of them. So, but you're always gonna find these ones and these little delicate little fuckers who are just their ego and whatever it is, they got to be tough or whatever. So you can't just be nice. So, and that's my point. Just as long as you're nice, you say hi to me and I'll say hi to you and leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. It's kind of how it should be. So, all right, my peoples, much love. And you'll see me soon out there. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe, hit that like. Take care of each other. And I'll see you soon, guys.